Hi everybody! The Georgian GM BRAIN Jobava is such a creative chess player. And he's such an interesting chess personality that we should really cherish. I mean, just take a look at his streams. And he belongs so much on this channel because of all the beautiful chess he plays. He possesses some big brain energy. This is the series called In All Its Chess Beauty, where we take a full game and really dig into it and see its beauty. So let's pull in the board so we can see Big Brain Jobava in action. He has the black pieces here against the international master from Singapore, Wei Ming Kevin Goh. This is played in Helsingør 2017. They play these opening moves, which funnily enough is called the Jobava system, but actually from the white side. So Jobava is gonna get the Jobava system right in his face. Personally, I'm not that fond of white system here because the knight on c3 connected with the pawn on d4 and the black pawn on d5. It's kind of fixed and it's not so flexible. It gives a little bit of a rigid development for white here. I feel every time I watch this variation, I think the knight on c3 is becoming a little bit misplaced, as we can kind of see in this game as well. Here, Big Brain Jobava wanted to get rid of his light squared bishop, and of course white cannot take that, because if then black take back, and the attack is so overwhelming. White went g4 instead, and here came a few developing moves. We exchanged the light squared bishops here, and then knight jump here, and a knight jump here. And here, since black has two options, Jobava chose the one where he's the guy attacking here. This is a clear sign that he wants to attack, because there was this knight takes c2 variation, but it gets very complicated, and in the end, it seems white is having the initiative. Let's see the variation we can see here. These moves are more or less forced here, which in the end leads to that black has a small material advantage, but he's a bit passive, white is very active. It's not so clear, and I understand that Big Brain Jobava decided that he wants to be the one attacking and not his opponent. Okay, let's rewind a bit here, back to the point where he wanted to sacrifice this pawn, and white took it. Here again, it wouldn't be advisable for black to play rook takes c2 here, because after rook c1, we get to a situation where white is very much attacking and black is behind in development. Not so good. But as we spoke about, Big Brain Jobava is on to the king. He plays bishop a3, white has to make a hole with b3, and then our first beauty move, rook c3. And what's the point of this move? I think the point is that you want to limit white's options here, because the queen has to defend the knight on f3. You're also building up maybe in the c file with the next rook coming in. I understand why this could make white nervous, and that's why immediately he made a mistake here with knight g1, which is a little too passive here. Gives black enough time to develop his attack. And here queen c6, eyeing the rook on h1 and the pawn on c2. And white has to solve things a little more tactically now. White is relying on that it's not possible to play rook takes c2 because he wants to play knight d4. When rook b2 check comes, king a1, and then he believes that all his activity, his threats with rook to c1 and the bishop to c1, all these threats all accumulate to him to solve his issues here. And perhaps even have a good position. However, Big Brain Jobava shows exactly why I call him like that, with our last and most beautiful beauty move. See if you can spot it. Queen c3. First of all, if white takes that queen, knight takes back, and there's nothing to do about the Arabian mate with rook takes a2. Second of all, if a queen comes that close to your king, you're in big trouble. For instance, you cannot do anything about the threat of rook b1 check and queen b2 mate. So white is absolutely busted. He played a few more moves, but when you have that many attacking pieces around the white king, it's pretty much done. So that was quite a beauty. If you want to see your favorite player perform some Artful chess, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.